This video contains instructions on how to use the KILM 7th edition software. This video contains instructions for the grid form. This grid form is displayed when you define a query using the standard query, the two-click query, or the world and regional aggregates forms. The grid on this form can be separated into three areas. The left area consists of key fields that are the values that make a record unique. When applicable, a column indicating breaks in series is also displayed in this area. The middle area generally contains numeric data. The rightmost area consists of fields containing metadata. Data in this area is typically abbreviations. Where there is metadata that cannot be abbreviated, it will be displayed in a text box at the bottom of the window and will be indicated in the appropriate record by an asterisk in the rightmost field. The metadata displayed in the text box is associated with the currently selected row. You can copy data to the clipboard from this text box. Please note that for some tables, this text box will not be visible, as not all tables have text-only metadata. If you hold the mouse cursor over an abbreviation, a pop-up will appear with the description of that abbreviation. You can also open the Definitions tab to see a list of all abbreviations and their descriptions. And if you hold the mouse cursor over an asterisk in the rightmost column, a pop-up will appear with the appropriate metadata, regardless of whether the row is the currently selected row or not. Above the grid is a row of tabs. Using the tools on the Parameters tab, you can filter the data. The Definitions tab displays descriptions for all abbreviations displayed in the grid. The Repositories tab displays information about the sources of the displayed data. The Notes Table tab displays notes pertaining to the entire displayed table. Please note that the indicator for the active tab has a white background. There's one additional tab, the Country Notes tab, which is not applicable to this table and thus not visible, that displays country-specific notes. For all tabs but the Parameters and Data tabs, you can copy text to the clipboard, as well as export text to a word processing file, a rich text format, or RTF file. There's more information about these files later in this video. The Parameters tab consists of a group of checkbox lists and a row of buttons down the left side of the form. Check or uncheck individual boxes by clicking on them. Unchecking boxes will exclude records containing those values from the grid. Please note that when a change is made to the original condition of this tab, the Refresh Data button on the left of the window is enabled. To remake the grid to reflect your current selections, you must click the Refresh Data button. To restore lists to reflect the current state of the grid, click the Restore button. To uncheck or check all boxes in all lists, click the Clear All or Select All buttons. In lists containing abbreviations, place the mouse cursor over the abbreviation and a pop-up will appear displaying a description of that abbreviation. To check or uncheck all items in an individual list, right-click on that list and click Clear All or Select All. You may also invert your selections by right-clicking on the list and clicking Invert. You may also check or uncheck all items in an individual list by clicking the Menu button and clicking Clear All or Select All. Please note that when you click the Menu button, your selection will be applied to the list that last had focus. For most of the lists on this tab, you can select one item, then hold down the Shift key and select another, and all of the intervening items will be selected. Or you can select an item, hold down the Shift key and press the up or down arrows. Please remember that to remake the grid to reflect your selections, you must click the Refresh Data button. When you return to the Parameters tab after successfully filtering the data, you may find that there are selections that are unchecked which you did not uncheck. This is because when you open the Parameters tab, the lists are remade to reflect the current state of the grid. From the Data tab, the grid, you can modify the grid, graph the data, print the data, export the data, or view the section of KILM manuscript associated with the displayed table. To view the associated manuscript, click the Menu button, then click View the Manuscript. Manuscript sections are stored in PDF files. To view them, you'll need Adobe Reader. If you don't have this installed on your computer, you can download it free from www.adobe.com. There will be a selection on their homepage for downloads. Go there and download and install Adobe Reader. There are two methods of modifying the grid. You can sort the data in the grid or hide and show columns. To sort, click the Menu button, then click Sort. In the resulting window, select an item from the drop-down list. You may also define whether the sort is descending or ascending. Please note that when a selection was made from the drop-down list, another drop-down list was added. You can sort on up to 6 columns. To return to the grid without applying your changes, click the Cancel button. To redisplay the grid with the sort you've defined, click the OK button. To remove your custom sort, reopen the Sort form and click the Reset button. The default sort order is country, year, and sex, but may include other variables such as age group. To hide and show columns, click the Menu button, then click Show Hide Columns. This will open a form with a checkbox list with an entry for each column on the grid. When you uncheck an item, the appropriate column will disappear. To show the column again, check the item. When you're finished, click the OK button or close the window. To graph data, click the Graph button. This will open the Graph form. Using this form, you can create and view a graph, save the graph image as a bitmap, copy the graph data and image to the clipboard, and export the data and the graph to Excel. Data exported to the clipboard or to Excel will be in a cross-tab format which includes only key fields and the numeric variable being graphed. Instructions for using the graph form are in another video in this series. From the grid form, you can export data to the clipboard, to a comma delimited file, to a Microsoft Access database, or to Excel. To copy to the clipboard, you must first select the cells containing the data you want to copy. You can select rows, or columns, or an area of the grid. You can also select all data in the grid by right-clicking on the grid and clicking Select All, or by pressing the Menu button and clicking Select All, or by pressing Ctrl-A. To transfer the selected data to the clipboard, right-click on the grid and click Copy, or click the menu button and click Copy, or press Ctrl-C. You can also click the Export button, then click To Clipboard, which will copy all data in the grid to the clipboard regardless of the cells selected. Once data has been copied to the clipboard, you can paste it into another document. To create a comma-delimited file, click the Export button, then click To Comma-delimited File. This will save the data as a comma-delimited or CSV file. When you do this, you'll need to select a folder and define a file name. You'll be notified when the file has been created. To export to a Microsoft Access database, click the Export button, then click To Access. You'll need to supply a name for a new database or identify an existing database. You'll also need to supply a name for the table. Click the OK button and you'll be notified when the export is complete. To export to Excel, click the Export button, then click To Excel. In order to export to an Excel workbook, you must have Excel installed on your computer. You'll need to supply a name for a new Excel file or identify an existing Excel file. You'll also need to supply a name for the worksheet. Click the OK button, and when the export is complete, you'll be asked if you want to view the file in Excel. To print data, click the Report button. The software will then create a word processing file. This word processing file is a rich text format, or RTF file, that is readable by most major word processors. The RTF file will automatically open with the word processing program associated with RTF files in the list of registered file types on your computer. A word of caution: if RTF files are associated with WordPad on your computer, please be aware that WordPad may not display or print the document accurately. If this is the case on your computer, I'd suggest you edit your registered file types and associate RTF files with a more advanced word processor, such as Microsoft Word. This RTF file is created with a randomly generated file name and saved in a folder storing temporary files. When the KILM software closes, it will try to delete this file, so you'll need to save the file in another folder or with another name.